face to face with a polar bear. Liam was only 27 when he decided to take the biggest risk of his life. A wildlife photographer from Canada, he dreamed of capturing rare shots of polar bears in their natural habitat. In the middle of February, he flew to a remote Arctic outpost, carrying nothing but his camera gear, warm clothes, a week's worth of food, and his determination. The Arctic welcomed him with its harsh cold. The wind was sharp, the snow blinding, and the silence so deep that Liam could hear the crunch of each step under his boots. He set up a small camp near an ice shelf with a tent designed to withstand strong wind, hoping to spot a mother polar bear with her cubs. On the third day, a snowstorm rolled in without warning. The wind howled like a wild animal, shaking his tent violent. Liam held onto the poles from the inside, praying it wouldn't tear apart. The temperature dropped below -30°C, and the cold seeped through every layer of his clothing, biting into his skin. He couldn't leave the tent for food or water. Snow piled up around him, blocking the entrance. The storm raged for 2 days, and when it finally calmed, everything was covered in deep snow, and the ice shelf had shifted. Liam stepped out into the quiet aftermath, his breath turning into a thick mist in the cold air. The sun was low, casting a pale glow over the endless white. As he scanned the horizon, he noticed movement near the edge of the ice. A polar bear. It was massive, its white fur blending with the snow, moving slowly, confidently. It sniffed the air, and Liam's heart pounded as the bear turned its gaze toward him. He knew the rules. Do not run. Do not turn your back. Do not show fear. Liam raised his hands slightly, speaking softly to himself, trying to remain calm. The bear moved closer, each step heavy on the snow, its black eyes watching him, curious but cautious. Liam slowly backed away toward his tent, never taking his eyes off the bear. His camera hung around his neck, but he couldn't think about taking photos now. Survival came first. The bear stopped about 20 feet away, standing tall, sniffing the cold wind. It could smell Liam's scent, the leftover food, the fear in the air. For a moment, they both stood there, two beings in the vast emptiness of the Arctic, connected by survival. Liam remembered what he had learned during his research. Polar bears often investigate but rarely attack unless provoked. He kept his movements slow, speaking softly, letting the bear know he was not a threat. Minutes felt like hours. The bear eventually lowered its head, sniffed the snow, and turned away, disappearing into the white distance. Liam's legs felt weak, his body shaking not just from the cold but from the adrenaline coursing through him. He dropped to his knees, tears freezing on his lashes, thankful to be alive. The next day, he decided to pack up his camp. As he left the Arctic, he looked back at the endless snow, the place where he had faced nature's raw power and the quiet, watchful eyes of a polar bear. He knew he would never forget the moment when he stood face to face with one of the most powerful creatures on Earth, learning the true meaning of calmness, respect for nature, and what it takes to survive in the harshest corners of the world.